Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by now. Here's JP.
All right, we're back home here in beautiful Winter Garden. Tim Ham is in Dallas. Welcome to a Friday edition of the JP Peterson Show. Man, we got so much to talk about today. Snubs from Kucherov. That was an absolute disaster. That show last night was an absolute disaster. I'm not talking about the debate. I'm talking about the NHL awards. That was a disaster. The U.S. men's national team loses to Panama. My God. What's next?
Wait, what was that? What was that in chess or what? What are we talking about?
In canal digging. We lost to them in canal digging.
Well, we should. They're good at that.
They're very good at that. They're the best in the world. As long as they have our money and our technology, we can get it done.
And then we gave it right back to them.
And we right back to him. That was another brilliant one. Bronny James drafted by the Lakers.
Shocking development.
So good. So absolutely wonderful. And we got some Stamkos news right off the top. We have some breaking news. So settle in. Well, first of all, I got to turn down the stupid Sports Center I left on.
Producing on the air.
Oh my God. Like I get anything out of that whatsoever. But good morning to all of you. Good to be back in the saddle here. Had a nice little time in New Orleans, a little quick impromptu trip to NOLA. You know, honestly, didn't smell as bad as the last time I was there. I was shocked. I mean, at times, yeah, you pass by some friends on the on Bourbon Street or off Bourbon Street, and yeah, you get a whiff here and there. A lot of whiff of ganj too. Everybody smoking out there. Beautiful thing. That smells a lot better than a lot of the other smells. That's for damn sure. Did a few ghost tours. Had some good food. Walked the Garden District. Yeah, it was a fun time. Very interesting. Very interesting city. If you've never been to New Orleans or you've just been for football games and stayed in the French Quarter, you're missing the essence of New Orleans. The music, the food, the architecture. You know, we just walked around the Garden District looking at some of these old homes, these old Southern homes. It's absolutely phenomenal. Some of the detail and the architecture. Went into a couple of cathedrals. That one that was built in 1856. 1856. I love stuff like that. Absolutely love stuff like that. So for me, I vowed, I think on this show, to never go back to New Orleans after my last trip there. Because
I love New Orleans. I'm from there, man. That's my home.
So nasty. It felt so unsafe. Much better police presence now. Much better. Did not feel unsafe at all. They've cleaned that up a lot. It smelled a little bit. I think they've actually, I think, done a little bit better. We're definitely going to go back to enjoy some more of that stuff. So quick trip, you know, it's cheap flight, find a nice hotel, and boom, nice little trip. Highly recommended for a little summer jaunt if you can. Nathan Ellie asked me, did I make it to the famous store on Bourbon Street? I did not, Nathan. I apologize. We went to the Lafitte bar and sat at the piano bar, which we got a nice seat right next to the piano bar. I love the piano bars, the sing-alongs. And we sit down. The guys seem pretty nice, you know, pretty, you know, give them a 6.5 as far as talent goes. Not great, not a great voice, but, you know, you can fake the covers pretty well. But then the guy just turned into a really nasty a-hole, just like yelling at everybody for not tipping him and requesting songs. I'm like, dude, I don't think your piano side manner needs some work, bro. Like, you know, there's no joy in what you're doing. We're not really enjoying this. You're just yelling at us for not tipping you. So shut up. Then we left.
I've never had a good experience at a piano bar. Like
what?
No, dude.
The old sing-along, Pat O'Brien's.
Dueling piano bar.
Yeah, I love that
Pat
stuff.
O'Brien's a piano bar. I consider it a hurricane bar.
It's a the piano bar in the hurricane bar.
They do. No, I've never had a good experience.
No,
no, because the all piano players are dicks.
This guy definitely was. He was a tool. He was a tool.
It's
Like,
true,
get out of
man.
here.
It's true.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
Did you go have dinner at my all-time favorite New Orleans eatery?
Where's that?
A Court of Two Sisters on Royal Street?
We did not. We
Better
did
bring
not.
your credit card.
Yeah, that was probably why. We did not. Food. We had a couple of meals. A couple of meals were good, a couple not so good. Sometimes it's hit or miss.
Right.
But we need some better food recommendations the next time. Went to this little hotel called the Chloe Bar, little boutique hotel in the Garden District. Super cool. I mean, just really incredible vibe. It's one of those places you just it's kind of you gotta go see to believe.
Yeah.
It's just really fun, and we'll definitely go back. All right, let's get to the
been
breaking.
to New Orleans since.
And it's your hometown?
Yeah, and I have. Well, I take that back. I did a drive-through in 2018. I went down for a funeral, and my wife at the time had never been to New Orleans, so we didn't spend any time, but we drove through and walked through a little bit. But the last time I spent time in New Orleans was July of 2005.
Are you serious?
And what happened in August of 2005?
Oh, that was
Hurricane Katrina. I have not really been back since Katrina. So
yeah. Well, in a lot of ways, they haven't really recovered from a lot of that stuff. They have the charity hospital there that's in the middle of down. It's just abandoned.
Yep.
Now there's plants growing out of it. It's just the spookiest, weirdest thing you've ever seen in your life. Just a huge, hulking gray concrete mass with dark windows, completely abandoned.
Imagine all the ghosts in there. They could make a ton of money if the city would allow tours or something of that place, right?
Yeah,
Ghost tours.
There might be a little black mold issue.
Wear a mask.
Black molded. Wear a mask.
Finally, a reason to wear a mask.
That'll work. All right. Let's get to the freaking breaking news. Nobody cares about my NOLA trip. Maybe a little bit. All right. So Julien Brisebois, the general manager for your Tampa Bay Lightning, did a little morning presser over Zoom. And of course, the first question was about the negotiations for Steven Stamkos. And this is from Gabby Shirley's Twitter account or X account. Quote, as we stand here right now, we haven't been able to reach an agreement yet. I don't know if we'll be able to reach an agreement, but we met with Steven's agent again yesterday, and both sides are still interested in getting a deal done, but we have not been able to agree to terms that are satisfactory for both sides. I think at this time, it's probably best if I leave my comments to that for the time being.
Wow.
Whew. Well, not going to say that's the most promising quote that I've seen, but also I would say that it's not shocking. Not shocking.
Let me ask you this, JP. So, but I mean, and we are still far away from anything happening positive or negative with Stamkos. Right. There's a long way to go in this process. If he does not stay in Tampa Bay, where would that rank on your list as a Tampa Bay fan, as a Lightning fan, on the list of the most shocking things to happen to the Lightning?
At the top, at the very, very top.
It'd have to be, right?
Yeah, at the very, very top. It's we've talked about this, the reasons that I think he's going to stay, and it's so analogous to the Mike Evans thing, and we got something similar to this getting close to the deadline from Jason Light. So again, I said yesterday that I still believe this is going to get done. And as I said yesterday, nothing really happens until the deadline. And the deadline really is Sunday night. And even past that, because once they get to free agency, he can go see what his worth is out there. And then the Lightning can try and match or make a competitive offer. And that can also be part of the process. So, and that may be where Steven Stamkos is headed. Maybe he just wants to see, if what exactly, the number is going to be elsewhere. Are the Detroit Red Wings going to offer him, $15 million a year for the next 5 years? I mean, a ridiculous offer, but maybe they do. Maybe they offer him $12 million for a 5-year deal.
Right.
Maybe they do. Steve Yzerman, we know he covets the leadership of Steven Stamkos. The fact that he scored 40 goals last year. I mean, I think that would be a completely irresponsible offer on the part of the Red Wings. but they've cleared a lot of cap space. They have $32 million in cap space to spend. So there's a lot of different ways they can go, and they can offer him a hell of a lot of money. But that said, I still don't think Steven Stamkos is in this for the money. I think there has to be a respectful level of an offer from the Lightning where maybe there's not right now. And that's okay, because this is a process. As I said yesterday, Julien Brisebois, his job is to get the most out of your salary cap. He doesn't want to get rid of an Eric Chernak or an Anthony Cirelli. Maybe Tanner Jeannot he would like to get rid of. I think that money, but will his $2.5 million roughly be enough to be able to cover what they need to cover? Right now, if they bought out Connor Sheary's contract, I believe they would have $6.8 million in cap space, but they still have to pay a couple more players at the minimum. And then there'll be a charge for Sheary as well for the season. So they're going to need more money than that. And they can buy him out on Sunday night. So they're going to need Tanner Jeannot money, and maybe they need Eric Chernak money. And Julien Brisebois is going to try to hold on to as much talent as he can to see where he has to go in order to get the Stamkos deal done. And that's where I think this is at. I think that Julien Brisebois wants to know. I think he probably has some suitors and some trades in place for Chernak. And some trades in place for Tanner Jeannot. Maybe some other players. I don't know, but I think he's probably got some deals lined up. And he knows, wherever Stamkos is going to stick and say, this is my number. And he says, okay, all right, so looks like we're going to have to trade Chernak to get this done. Okay, fine. Then he makes the move and they do the deal. I just don't think, unless the Red Wings come with just a ridiculous offer, and to Steven Stamkos, it has to be all about the money at this point. I mean, I shouldn't say all about the money, but are the Red Wings on the verge of winning anything? No. I mean, they got a lot of cap space. Will Yzerman make all the right deals to put together a team that looks good and can win the cup? Good luck. Good luck with that. It's going to be pretty tough. It's a hard thing to do in 1 year, to go out and find a bunch of guys, put them all together. And I know they've got some good young talent there, but I don't think enough that's going to win them a Stanley Cup, even with the addition of Steven Stamkos. Mm-hmm. So is it about legacy? Is it about money? What's it about for Steven Stamkos? I can't believe, knowing everything I know about Steven Stamkos, it's about money. It wasn't about money in 2016. Certainly. That's not the way this dude ticks. We've seen plenty of evidence to that. He's more about team. He's more about championships. He's more about legacy. He's more about all that. And Julien Brisebois went and spent, got Ryan McDonough home, his best buddy. It just doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me is Stamkos' agent is trying to get the number to a point as much as he can, and then he'll sign the deal to stay. That's where I think this is at. I don't have any information to that, but this is what it feels like to me. That they're going to push each other as far as they can go and see where that number is, because Steven Stamkos knows he has the ultimate decision, right? It's not like the Lightning are going to pull the offer and go, okay, we're going to go get somebody else. We're going to go get Jake Gensel. Here, take it or leave it. I don't think Julien Brisebois is doing that. I just don't. I think that they'll do everything they can to sign him, but he just has to know how far he needs to go, right? And of course, Stamkos knows, losing to Chernak is that going to help them win the cup? Probably not. But if the offer right now stands at $4.5 million average, that's a joke. And I don't know that it is. There are some experts out there that say that the Lightning offer is, quote, a low ball offer. Well, we don't know that. I doubt that's, depends on what you want to, that's subjective to anybody who's looking at the number, if they really know what the number is. And if I'm sure Stamkos' agent is trying to put out, stuff to get the offer up. That's his job. So it's a tightrope walk right now. But when I comes down for me, I know this, the Lightning want to have Steven Stamkos, and they will overpay him if they have to do so. I think that's to a point, right? But I still don't think for Stamkos it's about the money. So to me, this is all posturing. This is all negotiating, just like the Mike Evans thing. And when it comes down to it, I think Mrs. Stamkos will get her wish. And I say that facetiously. I have no idea what her wish is. Maybe she doesn't like I don't know. But I just don't see him going anywhere and being in a different sweater as much. And of course, you're going to listen to the national media, and they've wanted Stamkos out of here forever. We'll get to the Kucherov thing here in a second, but they always want to tear down Tampa Bay. They always want to take shots when they can, right? So this is absolutely, everybody in the media had Stamkos going to Toronto in 2016 or 2018 when he signed last time. Everybody. And we're all wrong. They're all wrong. We knew he was staying. We said he was going to stay. He's not going anywhere. It's not about the money for him. And we were right. And I think the same thing's going to happen this time. Unless there's something behind the scenes that I don't know about and folks are not talking about. So Stammer better than I do, obviously, and better than a lot of people even in the area over there. Does he seem like the kind of guy that that has the type of loyalty to the team that drafted him, to the team that he's played an entire career with? What he come into the league in 07, 08, 09, something like that? Mm-hmm. That he would take less money just to stay home and to stay. Well, he did it.
And I don't mean like a ton less money, obviously, but
he did it the first time around.
Right.
And, but he made a lot of money. It wasn't like, they offered him peanuts.
Sure.
He made a lot of money, and he's made a lot of money in his career. He's made a lot of money in real estate. Dude ain't hurting. Mm-hmm. I cannot believe that he would ever make a decision based on money. I mean, everything I know about the guy, I mean, I've done countless interviews with him. I've heard countless interviews with him. I know what his character is, and he is not about money, and he's not about himself. He is the ultimate captain. He is team first and always has been. Now, that said, has the organization done some things to piss him off? Yes. Because the organization's overall desires are not always what the individual players are. Right. Okay. When they had to get rid of Ryan McDonough, was he pissed? Yes, he was pissed. That's the business of hockey, right? The Bolts rectified that. Was he pissed when he didn't get a contract extension this year? Absolutely. Was it fair for him to say, I took less money, won you 2 cups, what more do you want from me? And you still don't negotiate an extension for me? Yeah. Yeah. Who wouldn't be pissed? Who wouldn't be pissed? Right? I get it. Everybody gets it. How much, residue did that have on him? Well, he went out and scored 40 goals. Had a great season. Had a great playoff. Proved his worth. Proved himself, just like Mike Evans did. Same situation. Went out, put the talk on the back burner, and went out and had a hell of a season. That's what professionals do. That's what great legacy players do. Other players like Devin White bitch and moan, play with their Instagram, and look like an idiot and end up the loser. Which these are not, these are stark choices. These are very different men. This is what we see from Steven Stamkos. And he may be so pissed off that he just doesn't want to deal with the Lightning unless they give him real market value, which I don't think they want to do because it's going to hurt the team overall in the long run. And, we're going to be paying him at 35, 36, 37, 38 years old. Now, look, Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, they've all been very productive. No, Sid hasn't won any. They haven't won the cup since what? 2018. It's been a while. And the Pens really haven't been, they've been good. They've been making the playoffs, but have they been a threat to win the cup? No. So, I think this team still has a great window to win the Stanley Cup. And I think Stamkos thinks that. And I know he knows that getting rid of key players to pay him more money is not going to necessarily be part of that equation. But no, who knows? Steven hasn't talked, right? He hasn't talked.
And he won't.
He's
not that guy.
No, he's not going to do this in public. And so we'll see. I don't think these comments by Julien Brisebois are anything that surprised me, shocked me, you should feel bad about. I'm looking at some of the replies from fans to Gabby's post, and it's like, wish I could turn back time before I read that. Said it elsewhere, and I'm sorry if it seems harsh. If JBB lets the face and soul of this franchise walk, he can walk himself. Shocking position to be in. I mean, this is the fans, and I know some of these people. I know their Twitters, and I know how, passionate they are about the Lightning. Buccaneer Bolt says no one knows that what either side wants, but the cap is tight and trades require two interested parties. This isn't easy as just pay the man. 100% correct. It's what we've been saying. There's a lot of moving parts to this, and JBB has to know how much cap room he's going to need in the end. All right, and so it's posturing at this point. And he's got to, you want him to cut that line as fine as he can, right? To make sure you have as much talent moving forward. And, and continuity wins in all leagues. You don't want to have to trade key pieces like a Chernak, like a Cirelli. You don't want to. I'm not.
We have a situation very similar to that that played through here in Dallas 15 years ago with the greatest American-born goal scorer of all time, Mike Modano. So, of course, Mike, the number 1 overall draft pick in '89 by the then North Stars, played his entire career here in Dallas, was in, the number 1 player on the ice every time he was on the ice for the Stars, won the cup in '99, lost it in 2000. Believe he was obviously on the team and was a 91 that lost to the Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
But he was pushing 40 when he was wanting to come back and finish his career here in Dallas, and the team rightfully didn't want him back. I mean, he had lost everything at this point.
Right. And
he goes and plays for a year with the Red Wings. Now, he's from Detroit, so that was his team growing up. I get it, but they were also, between them and Colorado, the most hated rivals of the Stars, right? And that one season, and he was terrible, by the way, that one season in Detroit sullied his entire legacy here in Dallas for a long time. He wanted to come back and work for the team, in the front office. They wouldn't have it. They didn't want him. He had to go to Minnesota, where he started his career. And I love Modano. I've met him a lot. He's a super cool dude. He lives here in Dallas again, but that left a little mark on his career and his legacy here in Dallas. As time goes on, that fades. Nobody really thinks about it anymore, but I can only imagine, I was
going to ask you about that. What is his legacy now? And do you think
he's the greatest Dallas Star of all time?
Do you think it would have been different had he stayed, or
I think it would have been better had he just retired. Had he retired at 40 instead of going to play a miserable season in Detroit. The same thing happened with Emmett Smith, right, with the Cowboys.
That's right.
He went and finished his 1-year career in Arizona and was terrible.
It's interesting you said that, because I covered his last game in Arizona, and it was a meaningless game between the Buccaneers and the Cardinals, and there was about 12,000 fans in Arizona Stadium, and it was sad. It was very, very sad, and it's not the way you went out. And if and how much extra money did he make?
He didn't need it. He didn't need the money. I mean, he'd made all his money. I don't know all the divorces that he's probably been through now.
Right.
But it's just it's a black mark on an otherwise tremendous career, and it's just he had already had some black marks on his career. The play that he ended up passing Walter Payton on for the all-time rushing record. Do you know who handed him the ball?
Who?
Chad Hutchinson. Chutch handed the ball off to Emmett Smith on the play against the Seahawks that he got the all-time rushing record. And everybody's like, who? What?
Yeah. Well, and there's also a feeling that Emmett played probably longer than he should have to break the record. And those are things that remain.
Yeah.
And
then we have Dirk. We have Dirk here for the NBA with the Mavericks, who played 21 seasons, all with the Mavericks. Had the title, should have had 2. 06, they were robbed, admittedly, by the league, even admitted that later. Should have had 2 titles here in 06 and 2011. Retired a Maverick. And, he's a god here in Dallas. He still lives here, and he's at the games. And
listen,
so I don't know.
Listen, we've been through that here with John Lynch. John Lynch is a perfect example. If you compare the careers of Rondé Barber and John Lynch, okay, Rondé obviously played all 16 seasons as a Buccaneer. John Lynch was let go, made 4 more Pro Bowls with the Denver Broncos after winning the Super Bowl here. John didn't want to leave, but the Buccaneer doctors said that his neck was, was not well enough to play football, and so thought that he should never play football again. And they were dead wrong, obviously, dead wrong. And so it wasn't by his choice, but, he doesn't live here anymore. He's the GM of the San Francisco 49ers. He's still considered one of the greatest Bucs of all time, obviously, but it's different. It's just different.
Yeah.
Derek Brooks, whole career here. It's just different. Even with Warren Sapp, who left to go play for the Raiders. Okay, and that was more of him taking the money. Not the same. Just not the same. They're not considered all-time Buccaneer great. Well, I think Sapp is considered an all-time great, in the Ring of Honor, what have you. But it's just different, and I think Stamkos understands that. I think he understands that. So this is why I just don't think he's leaving for so many reasons. It would be completely against the grain of everything he said and stood for his entire career. It's kind of, in a microcosm, it's kind of like the Mike Norvell situation. I mean, Mike Norvell, in this way, I know there's not a lot of similarities, but in this way, Mike had a much better offer at a better, program. I'm okay saying that, Alabama people, with a lot more certainty about what conference he's going to be in and everything else. But what made Mike Norvell stay, number one, he got every demand that he wanted, but also he felt like everything I've said about being loyal to the program and being loyal to the players and giving me everything you got. And you believe in me and we're going to win the championship. All these things, every word that's come out of his mouth, he felt like if he jumped ship would be hollow. And in some ways it would be. I mean, we all understand how the game works. But I think for Steven Stamkos, does it make him a liar if he goes to Detroit? No, it doesn't. But it's just different. And it's going to make, I think it's going to make some fans a little irked, quite frankly, at both sides, either Stamkos, the organization, at both sides. And not that there's this is the business. It's like, is the organization horrible for not signing Stamkos? No, I get it. Is Stamkos horrible for leaving the organization? No, I get it. It just sucks. Just sucks. It's not something that you really want to point fingers at because, both of them, I think, have done well by the fans in every measure that you can have. So it's just, sometimes it's just a crappy situation. But that being said, I still believe that they're going to figure this out. I do. For whatever reason. I mean, a lot of reasons I just mentioned. And I look at some of the, some of the comments here. Jacob says, we are so cooked. Mark Hosen says, I've said a few months ago, this would not shock me if Stamkos left Tampa. And all likely Tampa going to look to get Young. I just don't believe that. I think there's a lot more negotiating to go. Lean Mr. Fuzzle says, brothers said he had the cap space for Stamkos. We all know that isn't true. He needs to make more moves if he wants him back next season. Yeah, that's what this is about. They fired Julian Breezebois. All right, calm down, people. Let's calm down. So, look, that's where it stands. Where it goes from here. I think it's going to be a very interesting weekend. I think that either this gets done late Sunday or it goes into the first few days of free agency. And I mean, I think it's silly to think that Stamkos doesn't know what other teams are going to offer him. I mean, tampering. I mean, I think we're all adults here and we understand what this is about.
His agent's already been in contact with 12 or 13 teams, I'm sure, that are showing interest.
Mm-hmm. And
they're all asking the same question. What's the number? That's all they want to know.
Yeah. And, Detroit has a crap ton of cap space. So we'll see. All right. Before we hit the break, I want to get to the Kucherov snub of last night. First of all, I saw bits and pieces of it, didn't watch the whole thing, but I don't know who this Nimrod was that was hosting it. But he goes up to Kucherov, puts his beard on, and just tries to do this this bit with Kucherov. Like, do you know who you're dealing with? Like, really? You're going to do a bit with Nikita Kucherov and think he's going to play along in any way? And of course he didn't. He sat there stone-faced and, he was asking him questions. I mean, it's on. I should have got the audio so we could play it, but it's so cringeworthy. It might just, make you throw up.
Who hosted this? Okay, look, first of all, I'm a huge hockey fan. It's my number one sport, right? I didn't even know the NHL awards were on last night.
Yeah. Well, it was promoted a lot by ESPN.
I didn't see it.
Oh, wait. No, it never was.
Who is Matt Friend? Apparently he was the host. I've never heard of this clown.
Oh, he's like some hot comedian. I think, but everything he did fell flat. For what the stuff that I saw, the monologue and everything else fell absolutely flat. And, that's just cringeworthy. That's so cringe. And so not only did he have to put up with that disrespect, but then the fact that he doesn't win the Lindsay Award, which is awarded by the players for the MVP. That goes to Nathan McKinnon. He doesn't win the Hart Trophy. And the disparity in the voting was big. And I think that's ridiculous. How can you win the points title? You can win the Art Ross and then just get completely obliterated in the vote. Like, it wasn't even close. 137 first place votes to 50. I mean, I don't get that. And we've been through all the numbers on this show many, many times. And there's arguments back and forth about the importance of goals. But this is you're the most valuable player to your team, to one of the better teams in the league that made the playoffs and was beaten by the eventual champions. Now, I know this is all voted on in the regular season. But again, without Kucherov, the Lightning don't even sniff the playoffs. And he's the first player in 36 years to score 100 goals, or 40 goals and 100 assists. And there's only two other players in the history of the game that have done that, Gretzky and Lemieux. I mean, we could go on and on about the numbers of this historic season. And it is absolutely, without question, a popularity contest when it comes to this. And McKinnon is more popular with the media. Yes, he's much more affable than Kucherov, but should you be punished for that? It's not the way things are supposed to work. But it's absolutely 100% predictable. And we all knew it was going to happen. And this is what happens when you play in Tampa Bay, because they hate us because they ain't us. And that's always going to be the
run into that here in Dallas too, with the East Coast bias, but that's Northeast, right? That Tampa that doesn't include. And what's weird about the NHL awards is that you have different people voting on the awards. You don't have the same group of people voting on all the awards, right? Like the Hart, Calder, and Norris is voted on by the writers. The Vezina's voted on by the GMs, and then the Lindsay Award is the players.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily have a problem with all of them being involved in the voting, but can we not just get a consensus so that everybody can vote on the same things here?
Yeah. And they didn't release the voting on the Lindsay Award, which I thought was weird. Why would you have the votes for one but not the other?
Yeah.
And it happened a long time ago, so it makes no sense to me. Yeah, I think it's a bad look for the NHL. It's completely predictable. And as many have said, including my colleague, Greg Wolf, great job, NHL, because now Kuch is going to hit 175 next year. It just pisses him off even more. He's just going to be better. It just drives him even more. And that's great. And that's great for the Lightning, because in the end, the awards are great for the players. They're fantastic, but you want wins, and this will motivate him even more. So that's good for Lightning. We'll look at it that way.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we hold our collective breaths this weekend. But I'm just going to say, I just think it's going to work out. Could be totally wrong, but it's just my gut feeling. But I think it's going to work out. We'll see.
Got to have faith.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to have some fun with last night's debate. Tim and I are going to score last night's debate as if it were a boxing match. We have a couple of highlights or lowlights to show you. There was mention of sports and golf handicaps. We are brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They are local. They are absolutely reliable, and they will get results. So go to JeevesLawGroup.com and send an email to old Scott Jeeves, and they will hook you up and aggressively represent you in whatever legal matter you have. Tell them you heard it on the JP Peterson Show, please. Please frequent the sponsors of this show if you love the show. Bay Area Modern Medical Center, Italiano Insurance, the Golden Diamond Source, and, of course, the great folks at Hydrate Heroes. Go to hydrateheroes.com and get your free 3 sample back. Try hydrateheroes.com. Back in 3. Summer is here, and it's the perfect time to shine with the exquisite June birthstones, Pearl, Alexandrite, and Moonstone at the Golden Diamond Source. Each gemstone carries its own unique significance and style, making them perfect for any summer occasion. Did you know the 30th anniversary milestone is Pearl, the traditional stone for this special occasion? And right now, you can enjoy 5 years of interest-free financing. That means you can own a stunning $5,000 ring and pay only $83 a month with 0 interest for 5 years. That's a great deal. And shop online and get 15% off the June birthstones. And we love our partners, local businesses that have been here for 40 years. That's right, the Golden Diamond Source has been here for 40 years. Julie and Steve Weintraub have done so much in our community. We thank them, and we shop there. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Happy summer. As we head into summer and hurricane season, you must make sure that your home is fully insured. Over 40% of people in Florida are not fully insured because property rates have gone up lately. Your home is worth more, so it needs to be insured. Call the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799 to make sure you're fully insured. And also, you might just save some money. There are new companies coming into the state all the time. In fact, we just shopped our homeowners insurance, and I'm telling you, folks, we saved over $550 because Charity, the great customer service at Italiano Insurance, did all the work and found us a better company and a cheaper company. She'll do the same for you. 813-877-7799. Do something about these high rates. Shop them around. Could save you lots of money. It's Italiano Insurance, been doing business here locally for over 60 years. 813-877-7799. Tell them JP sent you.
Hey, Tampa Bay sports fans. This is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the U.S. Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for tryhydrateheroes.com. That's our new website where you can get a free 3-pack of the great Hydrate Heroes electrolyte hydration drink, all for free. Just go to tryhydrateheroes.com. We'll send you a 3-pack. While you're there, go ahead and buy the 30-pack for just $29.99. Special going on, less than $1 a serving. For all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. Folks, a lot of these hydration drinks have tons of sugar, tons of calories. Hydrate Heroes, just 5 calories, and they have all the electrolytes in there, plus other stuff that's going to benefit you. A mushroom blend that will help with inflammation. So much other good stuff in there. None of the bad stuff. It's Hydrate Heroes. Go to tryhydrateheroes.com and get your free 3-pack. The new tropical punch flavor is out, and it is fantastic. They'll send you some. Just go to tryhydrateheroes.com. Get all the information there. Pick up a 30-pack as well. Tryhydrateheroes.com. All the good stuff, none of the bad stuff.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here. Brought to you by the great folks at Extravaganza Productions. You have a meeting coming up. You have a birthday party coming up. Any event. You want the professionals to handle all the audio, visual, and the creative. They can come up with some great themes. They have incredible props in their humongous warehouse. You got to go check that out. And you can do it all for free. They'll give you a free creative meeting. Just go to extravaganzaproductions.com. Get their email, phone number, give them a call. Tell them you heard it on the JP show, and they'll be happy to bring you over, give you a tour, and talk about your event. Extravaganza Productions, best in the business. And by the way, a little bit later on, our Hydrate Heroes Hero of the Week will be joining us from the Dominican Republic, Tim. So
the great DR, the Dominican Republic. They know baseball down there, by the way.
Oh, yes, they do. Oh, they know their baseball. Yes, Michael Gardner, CEO, is hanging out down there doing some charity work, as he always does. So we're going to meet some folks that are doing great things down in the DR. So it's always good. Very inspirational stories we've had on this show. As I enjoyed the tropical punch flavor this morning. After a few days in New Orleans, hydration is key.
I have this one I haven't tried yet. The mango ginger.
Oh, that's good. It's got a little
crack that one open.
It's got a little pop to it
today. If I mix it with a Red Bull, does that defeat the purpose, or is it good for you?
Pretty much, yeah. I think it does. But no, you still get the good stuff, but you also get bad stuff.
Oh.
But so getting more good stuff is still good, right?
Yeah. But I'll do it with water. I'll put it in water.
Yeah, I think that would work for you. All right, so we'll have a little fun here. Thomas Casper jumping in says, because Joe Biden would play 9 on the condition he can carry his own bags. Can you imagine that? Joe Biden carrying a golf bag.
Carrying anything.
Carry his shoes. Oh my God, on his feet. So if you watch the debate last night, I was on the plane for most of it, so I saw the low lights and the highlights. First and foremost, watching Twitter as well. It was funny to me that all the Biden supporters, many of the Biden supporters were like, "Oh man, can we do better? We got to be able to do better than these two." Like it's both of them are bad.
Yeah.
Right? No, so it's that, which I don't necessarily disagree with. But I think if these are the choices that we have, it cannot be more clear. And it's so funny because Biden was so incompetent last night, and so many people are acting like this is a revelation. Have you not been paying attention?
It's breaking news.
Have you not been paying attention? The dude's been out to lunch for 4 years, maybe longer. I mean, we could go all we want, but let's just give you a little bit. This is the man that is running the free world.
Or is it?
Strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look,
what?
If we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
What?
We finally beat Medicare. Good to know. That's just that, and that was honestly one of the better moments for him.
Isn't that one of the hot topics for this election? Is how can we beat Medicare?
I mean,
public enemy number one, Medicare.
If this was a fight, it would have been called early on and not because he was technically knocked out. It would have been called for early dementia. I don't know what the sign for that is, but it would have just been like, I'm sorry.
He'd be getting a standing 10 count before they ever started.
It's so sad. Now, and I've made a lot of predictions on this, but one of my favorite predictions is about to come true. And I just wish there was some place to bet on this. I would have put some $100 down on this, but had to be 2.5, 3 years ago. I said, don't worry. Biden is not going to be the next nominee. The next nominee is going to be, drum roll, please, Michelle Obama. 3 years ago, I said that. And you watch. This is coming out of the bullpen. Coming out of the bullpen. The big righty, Michelle Obama. Is she right hand or left hand? I'm not sure. She did play basketball in college, I think. Yeah, so that's coming. This guy, they're going to walk him out. And that last night was just to throw him out there as the sacrificial lamb. Like, okay. Like, why? It's by far, by what, 2 months, 3 months, the earliest debate in the history of presidential debates in the last 25 years or whatever, by far. And why is that? So they can all show the world once, and then everything that's happened, they'll blame on him, even though he hasn't been running the show for a long, long time. Anybody who think, is that a question that people should, like, who's running the country? Like, clearly, this imbecile is not running the country. Like, God, I hope not. I mean, clearly he's not making any decisions whatsoever.
He doesn't have access to the button, does he?
Yeah, well, he's got the nuclear codes, but we all know there's no way he can figure that out. So that's good. But who is? Like, isn't that something people might want to know? Like, who's running our country? Who are they? What are we doing? Yeah, I can hear you all saying Obama. Yes, we all get it. We all get it. He still lives there in D.C., which is weird. But yeah, so this is, and I try not to be political on the show because it's such a hot, but it's not even political. Like, this is a effing train wreck. Look where we are as a country. Look what's happened. It's insane for anybody to think that there's a choice here. And I'm not saying that Trump is the greatest thing since sliced bread. There's plenty of stuff there. I get it. I totally get it. But it's either freedom, and that's the gaslighting part of all about it. Democracy, and like Trump is a threat to democracy. I'm pretty sure he's not the one that is persecuting his political opponents, which is
undermining democracy, right?
And undermining democracy with massive censorship of social media, massive censorship, not to mention all the other lies and the forced mandates and all this other nonsense that's gone on forever. To me, that's not even Republican or Democrat. It's not left or right. It's communist and socialist, or it's democracy. And, you can think what you want about January 6th, but I've seen insurrections. That was not an insurrection. We know what that was about. And it's sad to even have to talk about this stuff. But my God, the world that our kids are going to live in is at stake. And hell, I listen, if RFK is the choice, I'll take him. Anything.
Kind of pulling for RFK.
Right?
A little bit.
I know he's got some wackadoodle things in there as well, but he does know about freedom, and he does know about the Constitution and protecting the Constitution. So,
you want to see the funniest tweet that I saw last night?
Yes.
Or the funniest? What's going on here? Chick's messaging me during the show. The funniest tweet that I saw of the night, JP. Joe List. Let me get this off the screen so we can see it.
Oh, yeah.
They have Biden's goal for the night written in the lower corner. Live or live, whatever.
Live. Just live. Get through the night,
baby.
Get through the night. No, I think they'll take him out pretty quickly here. There's no way that he'll be the nominee. And listen, for the Democrats, it's a good strategy. This is
scrambling right now, man.
Yeah, but the funny part is, like, how are they going to remove Kamala? How do they
get her out of the equation?
That's why they picked them, because they're easily puppeteered, right? They have there's no way that they're going to be able to fight back on their own. They have nothing, so they'll be able to just steamroll over that and do whatever they want. But again, I don't like to get into politics. But this is a crucial time and I know a lot of you hate Trump, and I get it. I totally understand it. Hold your nose, do the right. But the alternative is not good, and you could just see it in the economy and wherever. By the way, why do they keep telling me it's 21% inflation? Are you in the last 3 years? What is there anything that's only gone up 21%?
Not a thing.
Nothing. But they keep telling me this. I'm like, you must be out of your mind. All right, so the golf handicap thing was funny as well. We got it. This is just between the two of them. This is what we're arguing at a presidential debate with the free world.
Club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50
I
yards.
got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's
the hell?
He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Now it's 8.
But I had, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not
act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
21.
Trump has
We're
to say, let's
literally-
not act like children.
We are literally arguing golf handicaps on a presidential debate, on a televised presidential debate. We are arguing about whose golf handicap is lower.
I mean, it's cringe for like to win 2 club championships. You got to be smart. Like, oh my God, you had to go there, and then Biden says he's a 6 handicap. A 6 was a 6 handicap. Like never in your life, Joe Biden, were you even close to a 6 handicap. Never in your, and you think you can carry a golf bag. You can't.
And what does that have to do with anything, though? Only if you carry your own. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, he still thinks that he's like some super fit guy, and Trump's a fat ass, which he kind of is. But
well, they're both 90
Trump,
years old. They're not going to carry their own bag.
Why would you carry your own bag? That's ridiculous. You got that much money, take a cart. Have your own personal.
Right.
Like, Trump's got his own air-conditioned cart. I mean, yeah, why would I?
They both have Secret Service protection. Make one of them carry your bag.
There you go. There you go. Free, you get Secret Service protection. Also comes with free caddy service. Of course it does.
Jesus
of course it does. Hey, you guys are going to be walking with me anyway. You might as well throw the old bag on your shoulder there. Let's go. I mean,
sunglasses on the bag.
I think
it's the Secret Service guy.
What Biden successfully did there, for all the people that don't give a rat's ass and probably never watch, because this part's getting more run than anything that the debate, of course, because this is America, right? We don't want to talk about anything substantive. Let's talk about golf. And this is what's getting the most run on social media, right? So any golfer who's ever played the game and has a handicap will like sit there and go, wow, dude, you just lied so bad. 6 handicap. They have a reference point for how much this guy lies. It's like, wow. And then it quickly went to 8. It's like you've been on the first tee with somebody you don't know, and they're like, hey, all right, what's your handicaps? Guy goes 6, and you go, wait, what? 8. No, I meant 8.
You're honestly making it up.
Just making it up as you go. Like that was the most authentic liar cheater moment of all time in a debate, because everybody can relate to that dude. Oh, I'm a 6. Wait, I just saw your practice swing. You're not a 6. 8. Okay. Of course, that's a vanity. Of course, that's a vanity handicap. But nobody's going to tell you that they have a lower handicap if they want to win money, right? That's dumb as well. Another dumb thing
makes
that
it
he
untrue.
would do. Right. It's like, okay, if Biden, if you're a 6, let's go play for $100 million instead of giving it to the.
Let's play for the election.
Yeah.
Vote score wins. Screw the American people. We're going to make a game out of it.
Yeah. And you want to see Biden's ball would somehow get picked up in the middle of the fairway and taken to the hole and dropped in some way.
This is what it's come to, JP.
It's absolutely just bananas watching this last night. And it's so sad. In some ways, it's so sad. But God, I hope you all understand. And I understand how many of you hate Trump and all that stuff, but this is not about personalities or anything like that. Trust me. If you're a champion of free speech as I am, obviously by what we do, you better vote Trump. I mean, and that's not even like, folks, it's on the record. It's on the congressional record. It was a massive, massive censorship of anything against the narrative on COVID, would cost millions of people their lives that couldn't take ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and all these medicines that would work. And everybody was in all the crap that Fauci put out there cost millions of people their lives. That's censorship. And that's, the people that are censoring. And if you know history at all, those are never the right people on the right side of history. Never. Okay. Hitler, Stalin, not good. Not good. Bad things happen when censorship is part of the equation. So do the right thing, people. That's an unpaid political rant that none of you probably needed because it's pretty obvious.
I'm IndyCar Tim, and I approve this message.
There we go. Oh, Thomas, it's another shocking development here. Supreme Court just ruled DOJ overstepped January 6th. Shocking development. Shocking development. Problem is, it takes 3 years for these things to get through the courts, and people are sitting and rotting in jail for 3 years. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side and get back into some other golf news and other sports news. Want to get to the Bronny James thing for sure. Got some updates on the FSU lawsuit that we want to get to. And also, what the hell happened to the United States men's national team yesterday? What the F was that? Berhalter, you got to go. You got to go. All right, we're brought to you by the great folks at RHS TV. Don't forget, you can watch this great show every day live on your television. Download the RHS TV app and tune in if you want to watch that way. Back in 3. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
JP here to ask the question, are you planning an event, meeting, or conference? If so, you'll want to call the designers and production professionals at Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. With over 35 years of experience in the events industry, designing and producing every type of small to large event, they can provide a huge resource for design ideas, audio, visual, sound, lighting, decor, and entertainment to turn your event into an incredible experience for the entire audience. Folks, I've worked up close and personal with this group at many national events and Tampa events, and they have unique capabilities that help you save time and money in the planning and execution of your next event. Don't delay. Call these pros today at 813-621-4700 or check out their website at extravaganzaproductions.com. Tell them JP sent you, and they'll provide a free initial consultation for your event. Extravaganza Productions, the best of the business.
Take your business or nonprofit to the next level with the power of video. Red House Streaming offers complete studio production services at our state-of-the-art facilities. Put our experience and expertise to work for you. From initial concept to final delivery, we'll handle it all and bring your vision to life. As your all-in-one production partner, we offer comprehensive marketing packages that not only showcase your brand, but amplify your reach. Contact Red House Streaming today.
Let's go! Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
You're listening to The Strike. 102.5 WHPT, HD2 Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on this Freaky Friday. We'll be heading down to the DR for our Hydrate Hero of the Week. Can't wait to get Michael Gardner on for that. Any topics you guys want to bring up, you know how to get in touch with us on our YouTube page, the JP Peterson Show, or Fan Stream Sports. You can do it there. Also on my Facebook. You can go on Facebook and reply there. We have a show Twitter. Please join that, the JP Peterson Show Twitter. Follow us there since our old account is still suspended. For what? I have no idea.
Might be gone forever at this point, JP, if it's been this long.
Like, that is just like, I mean, obviously for what we do, it's a key component. We have 8.6 thousand followers. We obviously put out a lot of information there. We built up over 12 years, and they can suspend that business tool for absolutely nothing and not tell you why they suspended you, what you did, present what you did. Completely insane. I'm not, anybody has any ideas on how to get that back? I guess you could probably take some type of legal action. I don't know, but I'm sure agreeing to their terms means they can do whatever the hell they want, whenever they want. You can't talk to anybody at customer service.
No, and I guarantee you that no human was involved in the suspension of your account.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it was a bot that detected something right or wrong, and it was on whatever tier of badness that they just decided, the bot decided, oh, no, I'm not even submitting this. He's just out.
Yeah, because every time you put an appeal in, you get the same canned thing back. It was determined that you did commit a violation. I'm like, what violation did we?
And who determined that?
So, yeah. Free speech is not so free anymore. Even on X. Elon, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I thought he fixed all this.
I did too, but evidently not. All right. So did you watch any of you're not a big soccer fan, are you?
The question that you just asked me, I'm not sure what those words mean when put together.
You don't even know what a soccer fan is.
I don't recognize that activity in my home. No. Now I will watch. I take it back. So I will watch if it's the World Cup. I will watch the final. Don't care who's in it, whatever. I will watch the final of the World Cup just so I can talk about it, right? But anything leading up to that, any other match, event, series, whatever, I have other things to do. I would rather wash my hair.
There's a lot going on. I get it. There's a lot. It's that's why they play these things in the summer, because they don't want to go up against the NFL or college football or any of the major leagues. NBA's done. It's just baseball at this point. So you got a good shot to get some eyeballs. Yeah. So yesterday they're playing Panama in this Copa America, which is our version of the European Championship that's going on right now. Which, by the way, when you watch those games and then you watch USA Panama, a little different level. And it's just like, I know this goes back to the old argument, but how long have we been at this now where we're trying to put resources into fielding a soccer team, a football team, and we just can't sniff it? Like, we can't sniff the top 15, top 20 in the world. People, oh yeah, we're ranked X. It just doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like we're even close. We lost to effing Panama. We lost it, and we were down to 10 men early on because Tim Weah, in his absolute idiot brain, decides to get sucked in by somebody baiting him into a foul, and then swings with his hand and elbow at the back of some guy's head. And dude, that's a red card every single time. And by the way, now they have VAR. Video replay where they watch everything. So if you think the ref has his back turned, you can get away with something. It doesn't really work that way. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, these players are really good at embellishing things. Like some serious acting lessons involved there. So you're not going to get away with this stuff anymore. And then you put Berhalter, the coach, talked about it afterwards, said, hey, we know this ref. We know this team. We know what, don't take the bait. That was the message. Don't take the bait. And, here we have some knucklehead who knows better, who's experienced, putting your side down to 10 men. Inexcusable. And by the way, there were, evidently the United States men's national team, because, Twitter, X, is a horrible space. And there were a lot of people making racist comments about Tim Weah, and there's absolutely no room.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure those people didn't get suspended, but I did. I mean, there's no room for that. Like, are we not past that? Come on, people. Jesus Christ. And anyway, so be that as it may, that's a knucklehead thing to do. And then they score on a beautiful Balogun with another goal. Absolutely incredible left foot strike, hit the corner of the inside of the post and goes in. Amazing goal. They had one taken off the board also for offsides. That would have been a huge goal as well. But then Panama comes back and scores twice, and on some very poor defending, by the way. But you have 10 men, you're scrambling. I get it. But the goal, it was a goalie change at halftime. Goalie got injured, and Horvath, who comes in, gives up the winning goal. It goes right through his hands, and I know it was a tough save, and it was kind of point blank range. It wasn't an easy save, but at that moment you got to come up with a big save. It hit you, as we say in football, if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. I'm not. You don't even have to catch it. You just have to knock it away. And he couldn't make the key save when he had the chance to do it. So, this is Panama. This is not its side that they still should have been able to create a lot more chances than they did. And Panama went down to 10 men the last 8 minutes, and the U.S. got a couple of chances, but and they had 2 or 3 good chances that they couldn't finish. They've got nobody on this team besides Christian Pulisic that can finish. How can we have so many great athletes in this country and we can't develop strikers, big strikers that can finish? I mean, it's mind-numbing. And the fact that they brought Berhalter back, we said it then and we'll say it again. It's a terrible choice. It's a terrible choice. This team needed some new direction. It needed some new blood. And you got the same old voice saying the same old crap. Clearly, the players don't fear him because they're so undisciplined, like we saw with Weah. It's a bad look. And you're going to be hosting the World Cup in a couple of years, and you can't even get out of your damn group in Copa America. It's just.
So I have a question, JP. So
we get beat in freaking football by a Japanese team, an under-20 Japanese team. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, we lost in like real football, like our football.
Why are we playing football against Japanese people?
Clearly, we shouldn't be because we got our ass beat.
I didn't even see that.
What a trap.
Well, let me ask you this, because I clearly don't know. So where does the talent pool for the U.S. national team come from? Are these professionals? Are these college-age kids? Or I don't know.
These are professionals. These are
guys that play in whatever
plays in Milan in Serie A. The league, Italian league, and he's great and played really well. And he's one of the first, the only player we have that is an elite scorer, and the only one we've really had, since maybe Landon Donovan. But I mean, in 2 generations, we can produce like 2 or 3 guys that can score, that can finish. I mean, it's just I'm not a soccer expert. I can't sit here and opine on why these things happen. I think it was a very uninspiring choice to continue to put Berhalter at the top and to have them. I think it was, they figure, we're going to host the World Cup, so at least we got it. Even if we're just average, it's okay. We almost got out of the group last time. It's like, no, make a bold choice. Bring in somebody that would bring something different to the table and a different voice, because it's needed. And now, if they fail to advance, which they probably won't, they got to beat Uruguay, who is a 15-time champion in Copa America. They are way better than the U.S. The U.S. has to win and then hope that Panama doesn't overtake them in goal differential. So if they beat Uruguay, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to move through. But that's a big if. And I don't see them winning. And so they're not even going to get out of their group. And it's going to be a disaster. And then they're probably, I think, even at this point, as close as we are to the World Cup, which 2 years is close in soccer terms, you got to make a change. You just have to make a change. This is complete ridiculousness and embarrassment again. And
so do you have time though? And again, I know nothing about soccer or how the World Cup works, but as a national team, do you have time to make sweeping changes to your team 2 years before and the World Cup's here, right?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah. Some would say no. Some would say no. A lot, and you're stuck at this point. But I mean, I don't know.
These guys don't get together and practice all the time because they're playing in other places, right? You have to have designated times, I guess, when the team can get together and practice, and then they probably play in other, I don't know, whatever, worldwide tournaments or whatever that are happening as a national team, right? At some point before the World Cup comes again.
Yeah.
But they have very limited time to be together and to practice and to gel. So that would limit your time too, to what changes you can make with personnel or coaching or, the guy at the top who makes these decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and again, I'm no soccer expert either. But from what I read from the experts, yeah, it's really hard to switch at this point. But even though it is hard, there are many that are still saying, you got to make a switch. You got to do something because this is it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And if you want to be great, you can't keep allowing, mediocre. If you allow mediocre, this is just what you're going to get. So, could it go south? Absolutely it could. But I think doing nothing is even worse at this point. It was bad. So I don't know what you guys think out there, but I know from just Twitter and the United States men's national team hashtag, people were absolutely irate, and they should be because they put a lot into it. I mean, we showed up at the airport early so I could watch the game, right? And I'm sitting there watching this thing, just going, this is like Panama. It's Panama, for God's sakes. Yeah, no bueno.
They built a canal.
Bueno, my friend. What's that?
They built a canal.
That's about it. Mm-hmm. And evidently a powerhouse soccer team as well. Yeah. No, thank you. All right, we'll take another break. When we come back, trade rumors surrounding Randy Rosarena. I'm like, oh, okay. What are we getting back? Interesting. I think if I'm the Rays, I make the move. Buyers or sellers are the Rays. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, who just saved us over $500 on our homeowners insurance. Shopped it around. Some new companies are coming in. So if your homeowners insurance has gone up, and it has, why not let the good folks at Italiano shop it around and see if they can find you a company that's coming in, a good company that will write you for a lower number. Free call, 877-7799, 813-877-7799. Tell them JP sent you and have them shop it around. There, do your auto insurance while you're at it. Italiano Insurance, locally owned and operated for over 60 years. Great folks over there. Give them a call. Back in 3. JP here for HydrateHeroes.com, the great electrolyte hydration drink that has all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. NFL players are using this stuff. All types of athletes are using it because it's got 5 calories. None of the bad stuff, all the good stuff. All the electrolytes are in there for you. And also amla fruit, which is a terrific additive in there. The mushroom blend helps with inflammation in your body. Definitely has helped me with my knees. My knee pain has gone away almost exclusively since I started drinking Hydrate Heroes. Folks, it makes a difference. I love it. Professional athletes love it. You will love it. The new Tropical Punch flavor is out. Go to tryhydrateheroes.com and get a free 3-pack. That's tryhydrateheroes.com, a free 3-pack, and get the 30-pack while you're there for just $29.99. Tryhydrateheroes.com. You'll love it.
Hey, Tampa Bay sports fans. This is 2-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the U.S. Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Gettys Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Gettys Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
Summer is here, and it's the perfect time to shine with the exquisite June birthstones, pearl, alexandrite, and moonstone at the Golden Diamond Source. Each gemstone carries its own unique significance and style, making them perfect for any summer occasion. Did you know the 30th anniversary milestone is pearl, the traditional stone for this special occasion? And right now you can enjoy 5 years of interest-free financing. That means you can own a stunning $5,000 ring and pay only $83 a month with zero interest for 5 years. That's a great deal. And shop online and get 15% off the June birthstones. And we love our partners, local businesses that have been here for 40 years. That's right, the Golden Diamond Source has been here for 40 years. Julie and Steve Weintraub have done so much in our community. We thank them, and we shop there. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Happy summer. As we head into summer and hurricane season, you must make sure that your home is fully insured. Over 40% of people in Florida are not fully insured because property rates have gone up lately. Your home is worth more, so it needs to be insured. Call the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799 to make sure you're fully insured. And also, you might just save some money. There are new companies coming into the state all the time. In fact, we just shopped our homeowners insurance, and I'm telling you, folks, we saved over $550 because Charity, the great customer service at Italiano Insurance, did all the work and found us a better company and a cheaper company. She'll do the same for you. 813-877-7799. Do something about these high rates. Shop them around. Could save you lots of money. It's Italiano Insurance, been doing business here locally for over 60 years. 813-877-7799. Tell them JP sent you.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Freaky Friday. The breaking news out this morning, Julien Brisebois spoke to the media. Lightning GM said he has spoken with Steven Stamkos' agents recently as yesterday. There is no deal in place right now. They're not sure if they can get one done by Monday, but he is still hopeful. Of course, that has the Lightning brethren freaking out. We did a long soliloquy on that at the beginning of the show, so if you missed it, make sure you can just rewind it, go back and check it out. In a nutshell, I still think he's going to sign here, but
let me guess, a sign and trade to the Rangers.
Ooh.
But sign and trades in hockey, because they don't have those, do they?
Not really. He just would hit free agency like on Monday, and there would be a huge, as many of the pundits are writing right now, huge interest in Steven Stamkos. And I think it's kind of funny because they all kind of act like these other teams haven't talked to him or talked to him.
Right. We all know better.
Yeah. It's he knows what the interest is, and I would be probably not shocked to learn that he knows exactly what the numbers are as well and what other people are offering.
Yeah.
But what Julien Brisebois does not know is what those numbers are. I mean, now Stamkos' agent can say, hey, we got a 5-year deal from the Red Wings at 9.5 AAV. And he can say, okay, well, really? That's tampering. And obviously his agent can't tell them that, but he can say, look, all right, your offer's not good enough, which tells Julien that he needs to up the offer. But Julien doesn't know that for sure. And he won't know that for sure until he lets Stamkos hit free agency and see what those numbers are actually going to be. Now, of course, if you wait that far, if you get the deal done beforehand, so it's kind of a weird deal. Do you believe what the agents are telling you? Do you understand what the market is? What is the market for Steven Stamkos? I don't know. For a 34-year-old, they're going to be 35 in February, 40 goal scorer, great shape. I still think he has 3 or 4 good years left in him. I would say what he's made, 8.5 last year. I think that's probably, would he take 7 over 4 years? That seems like a good number. That seems like reasonable. A good number. That seems reasonable. I mean, it's if somebody offers 10, you're looking at over 4, so a $12 million more after taxes. That's $2 million, depending on who wins.
Right.
So is he going to jump ship and wear a different sweater to end his career for that? I know it's a lot of money, but you got a lot of money. You got more money than you probably can ever spend in your lifetime. So to me, it's about legacy. I don't see it unless the Lightning are just completely lowballing him, which I don't think they would do. Then I think he remains. All right, let's go over to baseball a little bit. So was reading some of the trade rumors for baseball, and Randy Arena's name is being mentioned very prominently with, among other teams, the Dodgers. We'll have a couple of top 20 prospects that were mentioned. One is I don't remember their names specifically. One's an A-ball, a guy that's outfielder that's dominating A-ball, very athletic outfielder, just something they could use, obviously. Another one is a 6'7" left-handed closer reliever type, which, that's another big piece that they could use. Obviously, neither one of them are ready for major league level assignments just yet, which, if they're top 20 prospects, I'm okay with that. So if you can get 2 top 20 prospects for Randy Arozarena, I'll pull the trigger on that deal. But again, baseball argument would be yes, you would make that deal. But and by the way, there's news on the stadium as well. They have now backed up and this is cruel. This is so cruel. And it's all about me. Always is. They've backed up the date for voting to what? July 18th. My birthday. Oh, the ignominy. Are you kidding me? On my birthday, you're going to do this to me? Make the worst decision in Rays baseball history on my birthday? Really? This is not cool. But what does that mean? What does that mean that they're backing it up another week? Does it mean it's more likely to pass? I'd say no. If the city council, if the members of the city council are saying this process is going too fast, we need more time to digest this, I don't see that as a positive. There's another workshop that's scheduled for July 16th. Then the final vote is July 18th. Can you imagine trading one of your star players before this vote? And again, this is not a city council that knows a whole hell of a lot about baseball, right? You're not going to be able to explain to them how selling off a guy who was a Scott Boras client that's not going to sign her anyway, that's probably not going to get anything in return for, so you better get the prospects now, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you think, that the city council is going to understand the nuances of that argument? No, they're just going to hear people go, oh, see, there he goes again, trading off the stars. This is what they do. They don't care about the fans. They just, which is all true, by the way. They don't spend any money. We should put something in this agreement that says they have to spend at least $100 million on payroll, which they should, by the way. If you're going to believe that the organization says they're going to take all this new revenue and put it back into the team, then put it in freaking writing. Why don't you put it in writing that they have to be in the top half of payroll, since they're in the top third of market size, top half of payroll, on average, 3 out of every 5 years. What's wrong with that? It gives them freedom to dip down at times, to maybe build up for other times. Yeah, but over a 5-year period, you got to be above average. What's wrong with that? You commit $2.4 billion in public tax money. Why not? Make sure that the team does what they say they're going to do. If they're going to hold you contractually obligated to all these ridiculous things, then shouldn't you do that to them? I would think so. But of course, they would never go for any of that stuff ever, which tells you everything that you need to know. And still, in every one of these articles, they continue to print that the city's obligation is $275 million, which is not true. It's a hell of a lot more than that. Because you have to add interest. I don't know of anybody who pays their credit cards and said, "Oh, my payment this month was $300, and then it's another extra $150 in interest." No, your payment was $450. It wasn't. You don't break it up. It's still coming out of your pocket, right? So if you're going to say how much is the city spending, should you not also include the interest payments? Yes. Yeah. So
it all matters. It's all money.
Yes,
can't split it up.
Yeah. So this process continues, and are they making baseball decisions, or are they making decisions based on making more money and getting this deal approved? That's a big question mark that I think is something that is out there right now. And I think if it becomes public that you're being offered a king's ransom for Randy Arozarena and they don't take the deal, well then. That's everything we thought we knew, right? And it's probably pretty much where we're at right now.
Nothing you can do about it either.
I'm a seller. I'd sell everybody but Josh Lowe, Pepio, who am I forgetting? Paredes, Taj Bradley. Everybody else is on the seller's block.
And you should take offers for even those guys, like at least entertain offers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think anybody's untradeable at this point because tell me what we're getting back. And this is something that the team has been really good at is, getting other people's talent, young talent that comes in here and plays really, really well. So I'd like, let's make that deal. Let's see what happens there. Update on the Florida State lawsuit. If you follow a account called Big Ten Information, which I do, who has been very much a great predictor of things to come, and so much of this gets just absolutely bogged down in legalese and what have you. But just to kind of settle it to it straight, and there's a lot of things that are coming out now in terms of how the college football playoff was negotiated. Who the power brokers were, how this whole thing went down. And where it's headed. And I think it's pretty clear that you're going to a P2 situation. It's Big Ten and it's SEC. And how many teams are in each by the end of the day, who knows? But I think for Florida State, it's pretty clear that Florida State, Clemson, and North Carolina, and probably now instead of what I thought would be Miami, they're talking about Notre Dame, which is interesting. Now, Notre Dame has a schedule agreement with the ACC. Obviously, they're not part of the ACC in football. They are in other sports. They have a scheduling agreement. And right now, Notre Dame is negotiating their TV contract. And they just, with all this new realignment, they can't find attractive matchups to generate the TV dollars that they need to compete. And it's hard to believe, but it's true. So, they might not be able to play USC anymore. They may not be able to play some of these great games that we've seen in years past because all of these other teams, the SEC and the Big Ten, are going to be tied up in more conference matchups and won't want to go out of conference to play maybe super difficult games against Notre Dame. So at this point, it feels like Notre Dame is now, for the first time, more incentivized to jump into a conference. And clearly, the Big Ten would be a perfect fit for them. So if the Big Ten is going to add 4 schools, it could be Notre Dame, North Carolina, Clemson, and FSU. Now, there's also talk that the Big Ten and Fox and ESPN and the SEC kind of like put everything into the bucket with all the teams that they already have and kind of share the revenue, share everything, and then realign them in places where they should be, which means Texas and Oklahoma might be in another division and maybe the Big Ten, and maybe some other teams go back. We don't know. We don't know where that goes. There's talk about your Aggies, Tim, heading to the Big Ten. Do you see any credibility in that at all?
No. The Aggies are not leaving the SEC. Yes, they're pissed off that the SEC let Texas in without consulting them after being promised that would never happen when they joined in 2012. But the Aggies are not leaving the SEC under any circumstances at any point. Not happening.
Interesting. We shall see. What about your baseball coach?
Jim the Trader Schlossnagel.
You want to talk about the way the whole thing that went down?
You want to talk about loyalty in college sports?
Yes.
Let's talk about Benedict Arnold, also known as Jim Schlossnagel. After joining the Aggies from TCU 2 years ago, and in his introductory press conference saying, I came to the Aggies for this to be the last place I coach in my career. To the rumors of him leaving for the Longhorns during the College World Series final, these were coming out after Texas fired their coach after losing. Was it the Super Regional? I don't think they made the I can't remember. Anyway.
Well, they made it to the final of the College World Series.
So then he gets asked after they lose. They win the first game against Tennessee, then they lose the final two games. Whatever, that's great. It was still a great season for the Aggies, who still have not won a major national championship since 1939. I'll throw that out there myself.
Ouch, babe.
To being asked by a reporter about the Texas job immediately after losing to the Volunteers, and he lit into them. He tore into them. And
the college reporter that dared to ask that question.
That's your job to ask that question. And then tore into it. We just freaking lost the game. Can you give me, whatever, to literally 24 hours later announcing that you're leaving for the Longhorns. Now we have at least that I can count 11 players on the Aggies baseball team that are entering the transfer portal.
Wow.
Yeah. And most of them are the stars, that came or stayed because of Schlossnagel's hiring. Dude, no, it's ridiculous that is allowed to happen. And I know it happens in football too all the time. I get it. And I don't like that either. I don't think that you've got, if a coach is going to leave mid-contract or something, they should have to sit out a freaking year before they can go coach somewhere else if they're under contract. I don't have a problem with that.
And boy, it's just to raid the roster like that as well. So some big Texas money guy is probably drunk watching the College World Series and said, "Dadgummit, why don't we just buy that old baseball team right here? I'm going to write a check to the coach, tell him to bring 12 players, and I don't care what the check is, because I just poked out at the old field yesterday."
You're listening to live coverage of a Texas Longhorns booster making his plan to take Jim Schlossnagel away.
Give me that boy on the line. What's his name? That athletic director at the University of Texas. Didn't he, Trev Alberts? What's that kid name? Is that him?
Yeah.
What's that guy name? Where's he the athletic director at? I don't know.
A&M.
He's at A&M, So who I got to write check to? Just I'm and then NIL and all that stuff. That's NIL.
Yeah, NIL, all of it.
We just write me a check and we get them all, right? Let's do that.
I just think that the coaches need to be held a little bit more responsible for this. And football and baseball and all of it. If you are under contract with a team and you agree to leave, dude, you got to sit out a year before you can coach. Something like that, right? To alleviate some of this. I mean, yes, they have the transfer portal now, which makes it a little bit easier for kids who committed to this coach to now go play elsewhere. But they shouldn't have to be put in that position.
Well, can we? Part of it is, the players and the coaches, because the players now have NIL money.
Yeah.
Are they not bound by their contract? Are these year-to-year contracts? Because if I was signed a baseball player, whoever, to an NIL contract, and it's a 2-year or 4-year deal, they got to stay. They can't transfer, or they got to pay back the money.
Yeah.
In fact, there are players now being sued for NIL money to pay it back. Good luck with that. You think they still got that money? I'm going to say no. So, yeah, and I think that should not be allowed. Contract's a contract. If players are going to get paid, I have no problem with that. That's what should be done. Yeah. But just like in the NBA and the NFL, they are contractually obligated to stay with their team. And that's what needs to happen. If we're going to have this NIL stuff, which you have to have because you already screwed everything up, then those contracts have got to include some loyalty provisions. So, yes, let's collectively bargain. Let's unionize. Let's get a salary cap. Let's do the whole damn thing because it's the only answer to what's going on.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're going to cap the players' salaries, cap the coach's salaries.
Got to cap the coach.
The cap people. You can't do that.
Or it needs to all be included. Put it all together.
Well, if we're capping the salaries of the players, why can't we cap the salaries of the coaches?
Just make it a position cap.
Yeah, like head coaches in football, $5 million. That's it.
Plenty of money. That's plenty of money.
Rises with inflation. So next year it'll be 10. Nothing to worry about.
Our 48% inflation rate right now.
Just like gas. Right? Just like milk. So just adjusted for inflation. So that should be something that's part of the deal. And you won't and that's the other, you won't see coaches jump and ship as much because most of them jump for what? Money.
And I guarantee you the Aggies have more money than the Longhorns do, that's
what I thought. So was there not a bidding war? What the hell happened?
No, I don't think he even gave the Aggies an opportunity, man. So he had this deal in place before obviously they announced it, which means he was negotiating during the College World Series, during the Super Regional, during the regionals, during the season. Probably Texas knew they were going to fire their coach.
So A&M got done to, I know that's not the right words, by Texas what A&M did to FSU. When poached the coach during the regular season, Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
Because he was very poachable. You have to have a man that lacks character that will lie to everybody in order for this to work. So clearly Schlossnagle is in that.
There you go.
In that.
The only difference is FSU didn't want Jimbo. The Aggies wanted Jim. All right. I mean, he's best college coach that
I don't know. I think there was still people that wanted Jimbo Fisher around.
I don't know.
As misguided as it was. No, I think
at Florida State, they wanted him there.
Yeah, I think there were still people that were like, hey, he won a national championship 3 years before.
Yeah, but I thought he'd worn out his.
Well, he did. There was plenty of people that were like, don't let the door hit you in the ass. There are plenty of those people as well. But I don't think it was. I don't blame, and honestly, I don't blame A&M. They're just doing what they're allowed to do. Or you blame the coach that stops coaching his team, stops doing game plans, stops recruiting because he's not getting what he wants. It's completely unprofessional. But as we knew it would absolutely blow up in A&M's face, it was like, sure, a lot of us, sure, you can have him. You're going to pay him what? You're going to guarantee him what? Good luck with that.
So ridiculous.
And then you redid the contract. Even after you knew what he was all about.
Yep.
Oh, he had a good season. We got to pay him. And that's why this needs to be capped because these schools are almost forced.
Well, we were afraid he was going to LSU.
Right. You're forced in a bidding war, and he wouldn't leave. He's not going to leave Texas A&M for LSU if he's not making $3, $4, $5 million more per year. So that's why these stupid salaries just keep elevating, for the top coaches. And then that sets the bar. And then it's completely out of control. And you're telling me we don't have the money to pay the players when you're paying these coaches $15 million a year. It's ridiculous.
And they do have the money. They have the money for all of it. They have all of the freaking money.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So
it shouldn't come, but it should never come to that. It should never have to come to that. And I hate it.
By the way, I know there was some news out there in the Twitter sphere that Jake Gensel, that the Lightning, Elliot Friedman reporting that the Lightning were interested in Jake Gensel. I'm sure that's just as a backup to Steven Stamkos. Now there's some reports out there that Gensel and Carolina are agreeing on an 8-year sub $70 million contract. So just less than 10 a year, probably closer to 8 something, right? 8.5. That's Gensel, 40 goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken. 8.5. Younger than Steven Stamkos. So shouldn't his contract be more than Steven? Yeah. So 7.5 is about where Stamkos should be. I think that's the number.
And he'd probably take it.
I think that's the number.
But how long? How long are you going to go with Stammer? You going to go 4 years? He'll be 38.
Listen, if I got to go to 4, if he says, I'll take 4 at 7.5, I do the deal. I
think I would too.
I trade Chernak, open up some more space. And
guaranteed he finishes his career with the Lightning.
Yeah, you got to stretch a little bit and pay him an extra year. If anybody in the history of the franchise deserves it, it's Steven Stamkos. And then he's locked up for the rest of his career, and you're done. Now, if his play starts to decline in the next couple of seasons, I don't see a rapid decline. This is not a guy that's, a rouser. He's not out, at the bars. He's a guy that treats his body as a temple and loves the game, loves to compete, loves to win. Great captain. I mean, leads by example, does everything right. He's not a guy that's going to get cheated in terms of longevity of his career. He's not. So I believe it's fair to gamble that the next 3 years will be 30 goal seasons plus. I think, and that's, is that good value for that? Yes. With everything he brings, keeping the core together, all of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you going to lose him for $1 million a year? So, or an extra, and maybe that last season he doesn't play. Maybe that last season he's, injured. Mm-hmm. It's happened, and that's fine. And that wouldn't count against the cap. So, yeah.
Somebody in the comment section very early in the show when we were talking about this before mentioned something about him maybe being transitioning to a player coach.
Stamkos?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Well, Cooper's still relatively young, so I don't know if he's going anywhere, but yeah, that could.
Well, doesn't have to be head coach, but
I think that would
bench coaches.
It's hard though. Superstars,
they don't always make great coaches,
right? Marty St. Louis, who's the best player that's coaching right now? Marty's in the Hall of Fame, so he's up there.
I'd have to see a list, but he's got to be up there, right? If you're in the Hall of Fame.
It's just not, in every sport, great players rarely make great coaches. It's the underdog players, which, Marty fits into that. Yeah. Had to be smarter and work harder than everybody else. So I don't know that Steven Stamkos be a damn good. I think he would be a damn good coach. Because hockey is a relational sport in that players, I think, respect coaches more if they played the game. And that's not disrespecting John Cooper at all. I think that's more the culture of hockey, which makes John Cooper an even better story and makes him an even greater coach in my opinion. Because he didn't, he had to earn that respect from the players and the administrators and everybody else. So I think that's and that's an interesting narrative. When the Stars moved here from Minnesota, Bob Gainey was the head coach. And of course, all those great years in Montreal in the late 70s, on those powerhouse teams. Never won a cup here in Dallas. When he went to the GM, promoted himself to GM, hired Ken Hitchcock, who never played the game. He's the one where we found most of the success with, right? And it's a good but weird narrative to consider and maybe to discuss sometime is about the coaches in the NHL or in any sport for that matter that became great coaches that were ex-players or the ones that never were. Never great players, but not maybe great players.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take our final break here. We'll come back and be headed down to the Dominican Republic for our Hydrate Heroes Hero of the Week. Always great inspirational stories to end our week. We got another one for you. So Michael Gardner and Cesar Gautreau from the Dominican Republic will join us right after this break. Stay with us. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man, Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
JP here to ask the question, are you planning an event, meeting, or conference? If so, you'll want to call the designers and production professionals at Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. With over 35 years of experience in the events industry, designing and producing every type of small to large event, they can provide a huge resource for design ideas, audio, visual, sound, lighting, decor, and entertainment to turn your event into an incredible experience for the entire audience. Folks, I've worked up close and personal with this group at many national events and Tampa events, and they have unique capabilities that help you save time and money in the planning and execution of your next event. Don't delay. Call these pros today at 813-621-4700 or check out their website at extravaganzaproductions.com. Tell them JP sent you, and they'll provide a free initial consultation for your event. Extravaganza Productions, the best of the business.
Take your business or nonprofit to the next level with the power of video. Red House Streaming offers complete field production services. Our experience and expertise has you covered every step of the way wherever you want to go. From initial concept to final delivery, we'll handle it all and bring your vision to life. As your all-in-one production partner, we offer comprehensive marketing packages that not only showcase your brand, but amplify your reach. Contact Red House Streaming today.
Let's go! Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show on this Freaky Friday. And as we end every week with our Hydrate Hero of the Week, this week we're going to take you all the way down to the Dominican Republic, not for baseball, but to meet a man who's doing great works in the community down there. World traveler Michael Gardner, CEO of Hydrate Heroes, joining us here from, looks like the DR. What's up, partner?
Hey, buddy. How are you? Hey, I don't know. I'm down here. What do the Rays need right now? Because I can go scout for them, man. There's some talent down here, man.
You know what they need?
As you
they
know.
need a good lawyer, a really good lawyer to get Wander Franco off, but that's a whole different story.
That's not. Hey, I stay away from lawyers, man. I don't like. Yeah.
Except the Jeeves Law Group, they know what they're doing.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
So what are you doing down there?
JP, the one thing, I've been down here a few times here, and just great people, great energy, and a friend of mine, his cousin owns he'll tell you the story. His name's Caesar. He owns a water spring. I'm not going to try to even tell you about it, but long and short of it, he'll fill you on. It's very unique. pH water, all natural. But anyway, he actually, wants to do a joint venture with us, and we're actually meeting with the congressman today and some political figures. So we're going to be distributing here in the DR. But more importantly, again, it's people giving back to the community, educating the kids. Again, hydration. I mean, heck, you think Florida's hot? I mean, it's a little warm down here. So we're definitely looking at just promote our Eat Healthy, our Drink Healthy, Be Healthy initiative. And Caesar, he's done a lot with the community when he tells you some of the things he's doing, and with the community and how he's giving back to the community. It just lined up, and again, just very organic relationship that's blossomed into a business relationship.
Awesome.
So I'll go ahead and let you just do the honors and introduce them. Let's go.
Our Hydrate Heroes Hero of the Week, Cesar Goutreau, I believe is the way you say that last name. What's up, Cesar? How are you?
Hi. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for considering us a hero. Mike, I see you have some merengue on your background.
Yeah, I hear that.
Hey, the good thing is, guys, though, look, I'm vegetarian, right? Or pescatarian. Yeah. So over here, there's some emu and some ostrich, and they're safe with me. They don't even have to worry about me. So, luckily I'm a vegetarian. So, it's a cool little spot that Caesar hooked me up with. And they got the party going on over here. And again,
we're gonna turn your volume down a little bit so we can talk to Caesar here. And we'll bring you back at the end, Michael. So Caesar, tell me a little bit about the work you're doing down there in the DR. I know you're trying to get good water, healthy water, clean water to a lot of the folks there in the DR. Tell me about Ebony Water, your company.
Yes, that's it. Again, thank you for opening the doors of your program. You're doing a great job. I was seeing some episodes. That's perfect. So here what we do, I found a natural spring. We have no spring water in our country. This is the first one in the whole Caribbean. So when I found this, the water came with calcium, magnesium, and it has I don't know if you can see it in the screen, but the water has gold in it.
Gold flakes.
Gold flakes, yes. So we found the gold in our mountains like this. Those are the rocks.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we do the process to leave it in the water. So the part when I met Mike, it was like a perfect marriage because he has the flavor, which is so we're planning to mix it and bring it to DR.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, perfect.
So Hydrate Heroes with gold flakes in it and minerals and all the other stuff. That's fantastic. That's awesome.
That's great.
JP, it is the Olympic season right now. So Hydrate Heroes is gone for the gold now down in the DR.
Very nice. Very nice. So I know that your company does some work for a lot of the underprivileged there. So tell us a little bit about that work you do there.
Yes, we're doing a lot of stuff with the people, with the community. The first thing is that we deliver this water in boxes, and let me show you this one here.
Mm-hmm.
The boxes we have are painted by the kid of the art school.
Oh, nice.
Kids from 7 to 15 years. And every 3 months we give some money to help with the materials and stuff. And another thing we're doing is we are on a mountain, right? And we have a lot of houses that are made of wood. We're trying to change those houses into murals, and we're gonna change the mountain to a district art so we can bring some tourism to our area. And another thing we do is a part of water. We have coffee, we have honey and cocoa to help the producer, and we distribute it from there here in the Dominican Republic.
So you got these businesses going just like Michael, and Michael gives 15% of his proceeds to military veteran organizations that help our veterans reacclimate to society and help them with financial stuff. So you're doing kind of the same thing in the DR there with just some of the underprivileged kids. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. I really appreciate what Max is doing for us, for considering us like a hero, because we really try to impact to our community, and that's what we do. Please, to the crowd, to follow us on ebonywater.org and see our work there.
ebonywater.org. Well, Caesar, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time and appreciate all the things that you're doing. And thank you for being our Hydrate Heroes Hero of the Week. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Thank
Caesar.
Hey,
all right, Michael.
JP, I don't want to be political, but I was listening to your show a little earlier. I mean,
I don't want to be political either, but at some point you got to
point
out the obvious.
Honestly, and being down in this country, it ties in because, when you look at, it's a global world we live in. It's not just in our backyard, as we all know. And the message that we sent, I don't care who it is, but, at the end of the day, you're representing our country. And, I really felt sad because, at the end of the day,
it's an embarrassment.
It was
a total embarrassment.
Again, I don't care who it was. I'm not independent, Republican. I just want what's best for the country. And that's why we're supporting our military, because our heroes need to come first. Because if we don't have our heroes and our strength in our military, and you show strength, right, through force, and again, we want to eliminate that and not even put ourselves in that position.
Well,
and
it's not only globally, Michael, it's in home too. If you're not, as Trump said last night, if you don't have personal safety, if you don't have law and order, you don't have a country. You don't have civilization. You have nothing. You can't do business. You can't do anything.
Here's the good, but when you do good things, like in this country, in the DR, these people live so humbly.
Yeah.
Like the things we take for granted. And I look and they're great people. There's great people all over this world. And again, I want us to be united. Again, my B, what's your B? Be united. Bring people together. And as leaders of the free world, I think that's the message we all should be speaking.
Absolutely.
Come together. Let's come together. It's not, we're not against anybody. I'm not against whoever's president or senator or whatever. It's like, how can I help them? Let's look at how we can help each other first. And at the end of the day, that's the message. And like I said, being in the DR, the timing of it and just, these people are great people and live in shacks. I mean, I was in a house and they moved one light bulb in the whole house. They moved it from room to room to room, opened their door up, and when I went to look at the screen and everything, and it was just very humbling. And I guess for me, that's the message. That's the only point I'm just trying to say. Right now we could all look at the negatives, but let's look at some of the positives in our country. Let's all come together and be part of the solution, not the problem. And that's all I'm asking. And like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak, but I'm American. I'm a patriot, and I want what's best for our country because that's how we can impact this world. Yeah. Me as an entrepreneur, I'm down in the DR trying to help, but it's going to help our business at home too. Right. Because all our products US made product, and people want our product. People want to bring this in because it is in the USA and it's made in the USA. So I guess that's my other B. Be American.
Yeah. Well, we at one point were the leaders of the world. I don't know if that's still the case. We do need to come together and be united, but it has to be under a constitution and going by a constitution that's lived for over 200 years, and it's always worked. And it's the more we get away from it, the less chance we have of surviving. So we hope it does. Michael,
it is. Hey, we got to claim it. We got to speak it. We got to believe it. It will. It's just going to be up to us as leaders to come together and unite and help each other. There's strength in numbers. So let's make it happen.
Absolutely. All right, Michael. Great stuff as always. Enjoy your time down there.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. It's work. It's work, man. It's work. It's a new office.
Thanks, buddy.
See you.
Michael Gardner there, CEO Hydrate Heroes. So don't forget, go to tryhydrateheroes.com. Get your stuff here. Less than $1 a serving, 5 calories per serving. It's fantastic. It'll keep you hydrated, all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff, and it tastes fantastic. All right. Anything else we did not hit on? Bronny James. There's your Hydrate Heroes right there. Bronny James selected in the second round by the Los Angeles Lakers. Do you think if the Lakers don't take him, he gets drafted?
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Unless the team thinks that it will then attract his dad as a free agent. And if they want him as a free agent, like I don't know what
if you were a player, would you want that?
If I'm Bronny?
Yeah.
He's probably been raised to take whatever he can get from anybody that will give it to him, which is the way
but you clearly know you've not earned that.
Does he? You don't think that LeBron fills his head full of you're going to be the best ever, you're going to be better than me? You just need a shot. You need to make your way into the league, and then you'll be better than me someday.
I wish him the best. He's a good kid. He's extremely respectful. LeBron has raised a great, hardworking, respectful, intelligent, wonderful young man. Yeah. I wish him the best. I just think it's too much pressure on him. He needs to kind of find his own way.
He definitely would not have been taken in the second round.
I don't think so.
4.8 points in 20 minutes for the season.
For an average
2.7 rebounds. Yeah, now his little brother, from what I understand, is better than him.
Yeah. No. So I don't know. And like Rob Pelinka actually said at the end of the press conference, he's like, we're the Lakers. It's the biggest story of the day. That's what we do. We make news.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't. To me, it's not even the news is that he got drafted in the second round,
right?
Or at all. So again, it's just a bit to get LeBron to come back. That's all they're doing, and for the history story of them being the first father-son tandem to play in the league.
And he's going to sign a 3-year deal.
It's just a bit,
50-some million per year.
God, give me a break.
Hey, he's still playing great though. He's still dominating.
He's
still 39 years old. He is still dominating. So you got to tip your cap for that. But I don't know.
I'm out.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back on Monday. I have a feeling there'll be some Stamkos talk to be had. We'll be on it all weekend. So if something does break, I will be popping in on social media. Don't forget to follow me at the JP Peterson Show Twitter account, our show account. So jump on over there. If you're following me on my personal account, jump on over to the show account. And if you miss anything, our Stamkos conversation, go back and you can listen to it on podcast anytime or on Twitter or on YouTube and our app as well. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you Monday. F-U, 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 and F-U. Peace out. And we'll have a Guinness. Thank you.